Hey, look at that! Here she comes. Here comes that girl again. One of the cutest I don't know when. She don't notice me when I pass. She goes with other guys while they're out of my class. But that can't stop me from thinking to myself. She's sure fine looking, man. She's something else.
She sits alone, waiting for suggestions. He's so nervous, he's avoiding all the questions. His lips are dry, her heart is gently pounding. Don't you just know exactly what they're thinking?
If you want one more thing and you think I'm sexy,
Come on, sugar, let me know.
if you really need me, just reach out and touch me.
Come on, honey, tell me so.
He's acting shy, looking for an answer. Come on, honey, let's spend the night together. Now hold on a minute before we go much further. Give me a dime so I can phone my mother. They catch a cab to his high-rise apartment. At last he can tell her exactly what his heart meant.
Do you think I'm sexy?
No.
Oh, Joe, fancy seeing you here. At last, I've got you.
It's him.
Do you want a drink?
Oh, hello, Nicky. If you're sure, yeah, thanks.
One cigarette? Do you fancy me?
Smelly breath. No, I don't indulge.
What do you indulge in?
Do you mind if I do?
Yes, I do. No, feel free.
Do you come here often?
I haven't seen you here before.
Yes, you have. Oh, I come here quite a lot with my friends.
Oh, well, I can't say I've seen you here.
I've been trying to get you on your own.
I don't think I've seen you here before either. I've seen you hovering about for weeks.
She's looking at my spot.
My lipstick's coming off.
Who are you screwing?
You still going out with, oh, I never forget a name.
Oh, you mean? No, I'm available.
What was that idiot's name?
He wants to know who I'm screwing. Are you available? I saw your girlfriend in town today.
Oh, I haven't seen her for ages.
That sounds promising.
Did you come with anyone?
You can't keep your eyes off me.
You really fancy yourself, don't you? Well, I was supposed to meet some friends, but they haven't turned up.
Put the other one.
He fell for that.
I wonder what you look like with no clothes on.
It's nice here, isn't it?
It's all right. But I remember my brother said it was a right tip before they redecorated it. You've got a nice bum.
Yeah, it's amazing what a lick of paint can do.
I wonder how far we'll get tonight.
I'd really like to get my hands on you. Yeah, really arty.
Yeah.
I should have had a bath tonight.
I'm glad I had a bath tonight.
I wish I could think of something to say.
I can't think of anything to say.
Better get started.
Do you fancy a dance?
Yeah, all right. Here we go.
You decided to come home, have you? Now, just a minute, young lady. I want to work with you. We've been waiting for you since midnight. Your mother's worried sick about you, and I mean sick. I mean, what sort of time do you think this is? It's not a bloody hotel, you know. You can't just come breezing in here any hour of the night and day, free as the bloody wind. very mature, don't you? Very grown up. Well, you think you can gallivant about the town at all hours, eh? Doing God knows what with God knows who. Well, let me tell you, my girl, you may have left school, but as long as you're living in my house under my roof, you'll do as I say. And if I tell you to be home at a certain hour, you'll be home at that hour and not 3 hours late. Am I making myself understood? I won't have a daughter of mine turning into a dirty stop-out. I won't stand for it. No, I don't think you're not too old for a bloody good hiding either. What do you think the neighbours think, eh? Seeing his light on at 2 o'clock in the morning, then watching you come strolling in here. What sort of reputation do you think you're getting for yourself? Now, don't play the innocent with me. There's only one thing happens to that sort of girl, and I will not have a daughter of mine getting into trouble. Because trouble is what you're going to get if you carry on the way you are. And I might surprise you to know I was young myself once, so don't try and pull the wool over my eyes. Your mother might fall for her excuses, but don't try it on with me, because it won't wash. Now, either you start being the young lady we brought you up to be, or you'll be out of here on your ear. And that's a promise. Now go on, get yourself up to your room. And don't make too much noise. Hello, son. Had a good night? I didn't expect you to be back this early. Who you been out with then, eh? That Sharon? Very tasty, you lucky devil. I was 20 years younger, eh?
Oh, jeez. Have you seen that barmaid up there? Mm? Yeah, pretty tasty, ain't she? Wouldn't want a bit of that.
You dirty sod. You got Mandy. Ain't that good enough for you?
Oh, yeah, she's all right. But, truth to tell, though, had a bit of an argument last night. And she reckons I came on a bit fresh. I mean, we had been down a pub and I was feeling a bit randy. So, anyway, I took her back to her place, right, and tried it on with her. And we got so far, right? We got so far, I always thought I had it. And she goes, "Stop. Do you want a coffee?" I goes, "What? No, I don't want a bloody coffee." A stupid cow.
Will she say that then?
Well, not a lot.
Well, maybe she ain't on the pill. You don't want a kid on your hands now, do you?
Well, no, but it's so frustrating, you know? I mean, she lets me go so far, then she tells me to stop. I mean, I am 19, I'm still a virgin.
Oh, that don't matter.
Well, that's all right for you to say, isn't it? You've done it. I mean, I haven't, and I do, and I want it.
Yeah, it ain't that great.
What do you mean it ain't that great? I mean, all I ever hear is how great it is. Sex, drugs and rock and roll. It's in the paper every bloody day, isn't it? And from your mates, including you, you two-faced git. Yeah, you were full of it when you first done it.
Yeah.
Christ. You know, saying how good it is.
Well, it ain't. It's okay.
What do you mean?
You know that night I'd done it with Linda?
Yeah.
Well, we'd been to a party and had a few drinks and that, and she said, "Why don't you come back to my place?" I thought, fair enough. And here, once there, she told me to be quiet because her parents were in bed, and she was scared of waking them, you know. I was dying for a piss, but I couldn't go because the lav was upstairs. Anyway, she led me into the living room. I thought, this is it, I'm going to give her one. It was pitch black. Couldn't see a bloody thing. Anyway, I got my shoes and socks off. Tripped over the bloody coffee table, didn't I? And even, you know, I was in such a rush to get my jeans off, I stubbed my toe on the corner of the sofa. So, I screwed her on the Persian rug. It was bloody uncomfortable. I couldn't do anything because I wanted to piss. And she kept thinking her parents were coming down. And in the rush to get out, I couldn't find my shoes. And I nearly knocked over the milk bottles. I was really disappointed. I thought, if that's it, you can shove it. That night really showed me how overrated sex really is.
Men are strong, men are tough, Men are surly, men are rough.
Men have mates, men drink beer, men are brave and don't show fear.
Men slap backs, men sing songs, men are men and men are strong.
Men don't touch, men aren't trips, men shake hands with vice-like grips. Men like fighting, men like cars, men like shouting with men in bars.
Men like football and now and then, men like men.
No, they don't. Men beat up queers, men live with their mums for years and years.
Men have beards and hairy chests, men walk through blizzards in string vests. Men can embrace and bare their soul, but only if they've scored a goal.
Men leap tall buildings, men are tough. Men don't know when they've had enough.
Men drive fast cars with wide wheels, men like fur-lined steering wheels.
Men have muscles, men have sweat, men haven't learned to grow up yet. Men wear trousers, men have flies, men kick sand in each other's eyes.
Men stand alone and show no fear, men have hobbies and hairy ears.
Men have willies, men have bums, men are good at science and sums.
Men aren't loving, men don't dance, men don't change their underpants. Men climb mountains in the snow, men don't cook and men don't sew.
Men are bosses, men are chums, men build office blocks and slums.
Men make bombs, men make wars, men are stupid, men are bores.
Men ignore what women see and call our story his story.
I wish that had gone on a bit longer. Really like that record.
Yeah, it's good.
To grope to.
I stink. So hot in here, though.
And smelly.
Yeah, you could say that.
Oh, God, the lights. I must look awful.
It's like Wembley Stadium.
That wasn't funny.
How embarrassing. What now?
Are we going to stand around all night?
It's getting a bit late.
Yeah, doesn't time fly? Your place or mine?
Where do you live?
My sheets are dirty.
Oh, not far from here. I've got the flat to myself. Do you want to come back for coffee?
Yeah, why not?
This should be fun.
Oh, okay then. Should we go? Great.
Yeah. I mean, let's go and get our coats.
I'm well away here.
Oh. Oh, hang on a minute. I've got to get some cigarettes.
But afterwards.
Oh, I hope he's not going to smoke those in bed. All right then. Shall I see you at the bus stop?
Yeah, I'll see you later then.
Better be there.
Rose, how did you first meet other gay people?
Well, to first meet other gay women, I started writing off to Lonely Hearts columns in a magazine, answering the ads. And I did this for a number of months. And eventually I got up the courage to actually arrange to meet somebody. And when I actually met this other woman, the really, really nice thing about it for both of us was that neither of us were your kind of stereotype diesel dykes. I mean, it was a really, really pleasant surprise for me and for her as well.
Hugh, you had an initial gay experience, didn't you, before you came out?
Yeah, that was just like meeting someone at a party type situation and like going back home, and that was very spontaneous. I hadn't really thought that out at all. But I didn't actually start going to specifically gay places. I went to gay clubs. That's how I met people. So I think it's easier if you're a gay man for the club scene.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
And when you went to the clubs, did it confirm that you were gay, or did you go to find out?
I think, like, in trying to decide whether or not you're gay, you go through a lot of mental processes, and, like, you mull over that for years often, but that's not definite enough. Actually going out and doing something active, like going to a club, does confirm for yourself that you are gay, yeah.
What is coming out?
Well, coming out to me is a gradual sort of process of declaring your sexuality, coming to terms with it. And it begins when you start to come to terms with it yourself. You have to come out to yourself before you come out to other people. That was my experience, and I think it's kind of logical.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think actually coming out does involve action as well. Like, you can tell yourself you're gay for years, and like people do. I went through it for years and years. Am I gay or am I not? But that's not a finished process then. Actually stating it to other people and acting on that, actually behaving, having a gay lifestyle or whatever.
What sort of reactions did you get from your family and friends?
It's really strange. My brother, who I told, he said, when I told him, he said, "Oh, I knew." And I said, "Well, how did you know?" He said, "Oh, I just had a feeling." And I thought he'd accepted it really easily. But when I actually brought a woman back and we all had dinner together, he was actually visibly on edge, thinking, "Oh my God, these women have slept together, and what do they do?" and things like that. And I thought, yeah, you haven't really accepted it.
What about your father, Hugh?
My family, I told my mother first. I'd been thinking over it for ages. It was quite amusing because you really psych yourself up to tell your family. Yeah. And then you never get the reaction you expect. Like, my mother was really cool about it. I thought I'd be like liberated son and bigoted mother, but it turned out to be a role reversal because I was really prejudiced in what I thought her reactions would be. But then afterwards, I think, like Rose says, the initial reaction is often good, but when they actually think about it, then we went through a bit of a difficult period. Right. And then when she told my father came up to me at college, like he was going to give me advice and tell me that I wasn't gay and that it was just a phase and this sort of thing. So that was quite amusing, really, because he didn't realise that I thought it out as much as I had.
How did he treat your boyfriends afterwards?
Oh, we had quite an amusing instance when they picked me up from college to bring me back home. They were staying at my sister's and they arrived like an hour before they said they would, and I was still in bed with my boyfriend, like half asleep, sort of entwined, and my father never knocks on doors, and he just sort of marched into the room and shouted "Good morning" really loudly. And I just sort of woke up and said, "Oh, good morning." And, like, he just walked out again, and I think my boyfriend was much more embarrassed than anyone else. But he was really nice after that, you know, like they were really nice to my boyfriend and that, so they were quite cool.
Once you'd come out, what difference did it make to you?
It makes a lot of difference. I mean, just like you can be honest and you don't have to keep pretending and going through all those pretenses with friends and family and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Rose, how did you feel before you came out?
What, before I came out to other people? Well, I just wanted to be sure in myself, really, because I knew at a specific point that I was gay, and I had to, I mean, there's all the kind of guilt and, oh my God, I'm one of them, and coming to terms with that and suddenly realising, oh no, this is all right, this is me and that's what I am. And I think only when I had that really clear in my mind was I able to come out to other people.
Yeah, and Hugh, did you think of gays as one of them, being one of them?
Yeah, that was one of the biggest hindrances for me in coming out, in that I didn't want to accept the fact that I was gay, because my whole image of what gay people were like was really bad, the sort of angst homosexual you always see on the telly and that. I didn't realise that gay people could be happy and were just ordinary people. So.
What do you think other people could learn from your experience?
I just think that to be honest, really, and come out, and it's a lot easier once you have come out, and that all the sort of anxiety and things you go through when you're mulling over, am I gay or am I not gay, or can I face up to it, just goes and you're a lot happier.
What about the actual gay scene?
I think people have to be careful about the gay scene, because a lot of people have very high expectations of it, but the gay scene's just like the straight scene. It's got the meat market aspect to it. It's very commercial, very exploitative, but it's a good place to meet people, but you've got to be aware of what you're doing.
Also, that gay relationships have this, you know, similar problems to straight relationships. I mean, yes, I met that girl, it was really nice and everything, but we had a very traumatic relationship. So, I mean, there are the problems, you know.
You've both had enjoyable sexual relations with members of the opposite sex, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right.
How does that fit in with you being gay?
How does that fit in with being gay? Well, I slept with men while I was still sleeping with women. And I did this, you know, for a number of years, but I knew all the time that I wasn't bisexual and I wasn't straight with a gay tendency, because
what was the difference?
The difference is because the emotional involvement and attachment, I've never ever been emotionally, in love with a man. Loads of women, but never a man, and that is the difference for me.
Would you agree with that, Hugh?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a mistake to look at your sexuality as just who you have sex with.
Right.
It's not just who you screw something. And when I was sleeping with girls, and they were, sexually very satisfying and everything, and like they were good relationships in that sense. But it still meant when I was getting on the bus or something, I was still looking at the guys and not the girls. So that was a deceit in some way.
What are the buses like?
I can't wait. They're pretty bad this time of night. Come on, bus.
She looks really nice.
You make me feel nervous.
Look at me, will you? How much is it?
40p, you'll need the right change. I wish I'd gone to the loo.
Keep talking. Why?
It's a flat fare. I hope you're not expecting too much.
This could be a late night. Do you have to go to work tomorrow?
No, I haven't got a job. More time together.
I suppose I'll have to pay the bus fares. That's good.
You're not listening to me. What do you mean, good?
Oh, no, sorry. I better watch what I say. I mean, that's bad. How long have you been out of work?
Since I left school. Do you really care?
That's a long time doing nothing. That's a shame.
You seem to care. Yeah, I'm really fed up with it. I'm not really into one-night stands.
What am I doing here? She's really nice.
Let's talk about you. Have you got a job?
Oh, I'm glad you asked me that. I'm a computer programmer.
You're trying to impress me. Oh, I won't fancy that.
What would turn you on? What would you fancy doing?
Kissing you. Something nice?
I like sex. Like what?
This is it. Here's the bus.
First time I slept with a girl, we were both virgins, so from that point of view it wasn't very successful because neither of us knew what to do really. To cut it short, I couldn't penetrate her because she couldn't relax, so because we had very high expectations of what sex was going to be like, it was very disappointing, but we went out for 6 months after that, so we did eventually get it right.
I went on holiday with 4 of the lads. We all went to prove we were men, I think, to Scarborough. We went out discoing, and there was this girl dancing by herself, and I thought, I'll dance with her. So I danced with her, and she said nice things like, your hair's nice, so she won me over. And I said, you want to come back? I was sat on the bed with her, and I turned the lights out, and I was kissing her, and I was just about to put my hand round her, and she said, come on, let's get into bed. I near collapsed. That was about it, really. She sort of stayed the night, I think.
It was a slightly strange experience because the first woman I slept with was also present at the time. She was part of it. And the man involved was the man she was living with. And I went round to the flat to see her. Within about half an hour or so, they'd taken my shoes off and the rest of my clothes kind of quickly followed. And We went into the bedroom. It wasn't like I was kind of stripped and marched into the bedroom. It was a very nice, relaxed kind of atmosphere. Because of that, it wasn't the normal physically painful or traumatic experience that it sometimes cracked up to be. We had a really good time, actually. It was a really nice way to be initiated.
The first bloke I slept with was somebody I'd known for a long time, and we were at a party and we got really drunk. And I don't know why, we were just sort of messing around together, and we started kissing each other at this party, which was outraging everyone anyway. We went back to my place for coffee, you know, and I don't think I was really thinking of going to bed with him, but it just sort of happened that way when we got upstairs. And we went to bed, and it was very confusing. I was really sort of unsure of what was happening, especially as I knew this guy well, and I knew that he had a girlfriend and wasn't gay, sort of thing. As it happened, it was very good. It was really relaxed and very sort of loving and everything.
My boyfriend and I decided that we were going to have sex, so I went down to the family planning clinic and I got myself the pills, and we waited and waited for the big day, and I was really excited, so I had a bath, got up early, sprayed all the sheets with perfume, took the day off school, and round he came. But the problem was, there was such a big build-up to it that he couldn't manage it, because he had to perform. So I lay there waiting for it, and nothing happened. So we ended up having another bath and tried again.
It happens of an afternoon. I shut myself in me room and try and turn me thoughts away from what's been bothering me all day. I try and forget myself in some job, or listen to music that I find moving, or even try meditation. Sometimes one of these things works and I feel fine. Sometimes none of these things work, and then it's playtime. And so when I'm through and I've done what I had to do, I have a wash, put me clothes on, having made sure that the smell's all gone. I feel ashamed to think of it. I wish I could just be sick, relieve myself by vomiting in the bathroom sink. And later, when me mum gets home and she asks me how I've been, I'll just say, oh, all right. I've said so many times, I won't even think. But I wanted to do it. I know I did. I wanted to do it. I know I did. I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it, and now I've had my fun.
Masturbation? Men. They do it. They do it secretly. They do it. Women don't do it. Yes, they do. Of course they do. They do if they want to. Mummies and daddies say no, but I say go. If they were the ones that stopped you, why did they do it? Because they were the ones feeling ashamed. You're not guilty. I'm not guilty, and I think it's fun. Try it. Don't wait for lovers. It's a fact that most women don't have orgasms unless they masturbate. Lovers can't provide all your fun. Don't just wait for Silly Willy at Piccadilly. I'm not.
You can laugh, but I hope you've learned there's more to sex than meets the eye.
He's not sitting on the bed.
Did you take sugar?
No, I'm sweet enough already.
What an idiot.
I should have sat on the bed.
You can put a record on if you want.
I know what I'll do. Sorry, what?
You can put a record on if you want.
Ah, no, I was only looking. She didn't sit on the bed.
I'm sobering up.
This is a joke.
This is nice.
What about me? It suits me.
We'd better get on with it.
Let's get on with it. You tired?
No. Was that a put-off? Yeah, well, a bit.
Oh. Do you want to sleep with me? Well, I'd quite like to go to bed.
Oh. She doesn't want me to stay. Right then. That's that.
Right then. This is it.
I've blown it. I'd better go then.
Oh. What a waste of time.
Bye then.
Bye then.
Had spoken, and when we did, we spoke of lustful things with voices low, and then the image was broken. We are things in the shape of a man, young things in the shape of a man. You're up against things in the shape of a man, but you won't understand. You said to David we were thinking of another day, a day of indecision. We washed our faces and we combed our hair a different way to form a different vision. We are things in the shape of a man, you young things in the shape of a man. You don't understand and I don't think you can, or you don't want to.
Yes, I would say each and every day, boys and girls, you gotta get me going and watch this thing, yeah. The more you want, the more you see. I've got me friends and things each and every day. Whoa, ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling, hear the school bell ring. You gotta go to school to learn your golden rules, I would say each and every day. Music is the thing, yeah, watch your job. Whoa, it's a double attack, yeah, black is back. Whoa, yeah, watch it. We are too cold for you.
No heart or soul for you.
We are too cold for you.
And we don't care about you. Refuse to drink with you. Our love's too special for you.
Kim, how do you two know each other?
Actually, we were introduced by a mutual friend 7 or 8 years ago because we're both transsexuals.
And what is a transsexual?
Basically, it's a person who needs to change their body to bring them in line with the way they think.
Would you agree with that, Lou?
Yes, I would. I'd say it's somebody who's biologically one sex but psychologically the other.
Lou, why did you decide to change sex?
Because I couldn't stand having a female body, and I felt positively male, and I wanted to be able to express that maleness.
How about you, Kim?
I'm not sure whether I actually believe I've changed sex. I think what I've done is changed my body's sexual characteristics to bring them in line with the way I think.
So how did you think of yourself before you changed your body?
Oh, I certainly felt myself trapped in an alien form. My body was totally alien to me.
And how early did you have these feelings about your body?
Oh, very early indeed. I mean, I can remember beginning to think of this as early as perhaps 5 or 6 years old.
How about you, Lou?
At a very early age, indeed. I remember at primary school being very aware of the fact that there were 2 different entrances for boys and girls. And a bit later on, there were some boys playing cricket, and I wanted to play cricket as well. And this boy came up to me and said, "Oh, girls don't play cricket." And I felt so angry, and we had to fight about it, and I just battered him. But it was going on all the time through childhood.
What about your childhood, Kim?
Oh, well, it's true to say, I mean, most of it was pretty traumatic. I mean, there was always bullying from kids. I mean, getting beaten up because I never acted like one of the lads. I could never become one of their gangs. I mean, it's always torment about being a sissy, or you're just like a girl, and that kind of thing.
How did your parents react to that?
I think my parents must have reacted quite strongly. I mean, they became aware of it, I think, probably earlier than I did. I mean, initially I went to a mixed-sex school. I can remember instances of going home from school and my father talking to me, mentioning that the headmaster had said I'd been playing in the girls' playground, this kind of thing. And I was removed from a mixed-sex school and put into a single-sex school to try and reinforce my non-existent maleness.
Couldn't you just dress and behave the way that is natural to you without changing your body?
No, not really, because it would still seem quite unnatural for me to dress that alien body in the way that was natural to me. My body didn't feel natural. Therefore, I couldn't do anything with it. I couldn't dress it or anything like that would make me feel comfortable. My body wasn't comfortable.
Why is changing your body important for you, Lou?
Well, I felt the same way about it. I didn't like being seen as female. Not so much by women, more by men, actually, but I didn't just despise being seen as a woman, and I felt really that I had male characteristics and just wanted to sort of bring those out.
Is there a danger that you're just playing out stereotype roles of men and women?
I don't think I'm playing a role any more now than I've ever played. I've always hated the expectations of people that you should do certain things because you're a girl or because you're a boy. And I hate seeing it in other people as much as me.
What do you feel about that, Kim?
I don't think I am playing out any kind of stereotype role at all. I mean, I'm quite aware of the roles, and being aware of them, I try to avoid them as much as possible.
What sort of day-to-day pressures do you face?
Not so many now, perhaps, that I've completed my change, but obviously I'm always aware that I have to be careful that perhaps my voice doesn't drop too deeply or something like that, because then, as soon as people do become aware, they start to think, oh, there's something odd, and you suddenly find that you're having to cope with public prejudice.
What can other people learn from your experiences?
I think other people could learn a lot, actually. I think they could learn perhaps to allow people to develop their own characteristics, their own role, without being pressurised into having to take one or another particular form, one male or one female role. I think people should be allowed to develop their natural characteristics without interference at all.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think they should think about the world around them and the kind of things that they're expected to do, and not be prejudiced against people for looking, well, if they're transsexual or if they're gay or black or whatever, you know.
In a few moments, we will be giving you the addresses of a couple of organisations which you might like to contact if you wanted to talk to somebody.
Not a category. I am me, I am me, I am me, not a category. Hi! It makes me bad because things are bad. It makes me sad because things are sad. It makes me mad because things are mad. I am me, I am me, I am me, not a category. Look at him, he's a this. Look at her, she's a that. Small, tall, thin, fat. I'm not this or I'm not that. I am me, I am me, I am me, not a category. I am me, I am me, I am me, not a category. I am me, I am me, I am me, not a category. Hi! You can see I am you or they are me. I'm not black, I'm not white, I'm not wrong, I'm not right, I'm not up, I'm not down, I'm not anywhere to be found. Not a category!
The Brook Advisory Centres can provide you with information and advice on all aspects of sex and relationships. Their address is Brook Advisory Centres, 153A East Street, London, South East 17, 2SD. Their phone number is 01 if outside London, 708 1234. Gay Switchboard can provide information and advice for gay people. Their address is Gay Switchboard, BM Switchboard, London WC1 N3XX. And their phone number is, again, 01 if outside London, 837 7324.